Hello and welcome to the programme, which this week comes to you from Alfriston in the heart of the South Downs. Now, many people see buying a mobile home in a holiday park as a cost-effective way of getting the retirement they've dreamed of all their working lives. But for some people, that dream has turned into a nightmare. Colin Campbell reports.
Park life, affordable living in a countryside setting. This is Marley Holiday Park in New Romney in Kent. According to the ads, there's no better place than Marley.
Imagine holiday home ownership.
You can use the caravans at Marley for up to 11 and a half months of the year, but you must vacate the site for a fortnight in February. A perfect solution, thought Ted, George and Jeanette. They opted to sell their homes, live in a caravan, choosing park life.
I bought one of the top-end ones, and it cost me £75,000.
I paid in excess of $65,000, including the decking.
My caravan is a Delta Cambridge, and I paid $60,000 for it.
Disabled pensioner Ted Chapman was looking for somewhere quiet but affordable to retire.
When I first came here, it was so peaceful and serene, and I just loved the place.
George's wife Jen died 4 years ago.
It took a long time for me to get my head round that she wasn't there anymore.
He was also looking for somewhere cheap but easy to maintain.
I kept on yearning for one of these so-called dream homes.
After losing her job as a cleaner, Jeanette was looking for mortgage-free accommodation.
He said, well, we'll knock the price down, and I still wasn't happy. And then I was told that they would put the decking on for me as well.
Our friendly team are always on hand to make every visit as relaxing and as enjoyable as possible.
But they claim it wasn't long before the enjoyment and relaxation turned to disagreement and hostility. 70-year-old Ted has been repeatedly threatened with eviction, on one occasion because his metal shed was not a park-approved brand.
They came along and said, no, the shed's too big and it's the wrong make. So I said, well, what make you got to have?
The company told us it's important to control items such as the size and type of external storage units to ensure they comply with the park site licence. Widower George was also ordered to remove his shed and flowering pot plants which his late wife had nurtured. If he failed to comply, he was told he'd also have to leave the park.
And I told them they were my late wife's. Well, she said, them sheds have got to go. She said, you can't have all those pots on your decking.
The company say park rules are in place to maintain standards for the benefit of all holiday homeowners. They say the rules are detailed in the contract that owners sign. They say if members of our staff have been rude or acted inappropriately, they apologise. Jeanette says managers at Marley cut off her gas, water and electricity for 2 whole weeks while snow fell outside.
It was horrible. We sat here with candles burning for the light and to warm the place up.
Jeanette says she was told she wouldn't have to pay site fees for 2 years. The company say when bills are not paid in time, as a last resort, they'll take action which can include disconnecting the holiday home. They may sound like trivial matters, but the owners feel they're no longer wanted on the park. George bought his unit and decking for £65,000 in 2015. Now he's unhappy living here, he wants to sell up. Park Holidays offered him £17,500.
All they see is pound notes.
They seem to be, trying to push you out to make money.
The company say holiday homes are intended as long-term purchases, which should be enjoyed over a period of years. They say selling after a relatively short period will often result in a financial loss, adding owners are at liberty to seek a buyer privately and may sell the holiday home on its current pitch or remove it from the park. But private buyers and sales must be approved by the company. 15% of the caravan's sale price paid in commission to Park Holidays.
Just a short drive to the beach, yet in a beautiful countryside setting, Marley Holiday Park really is one of Kent's hidden gems.
Marley is owned by Park Holidays. It has 28 other parks in the south of England. Its HQ is here in Bexhill. Last year, the company posted pre-tax profits in excess of £34 million.
The industry at the minute is very buoyant, which creates an environment where often park owners are a little bit more bullish with their behaviour. This might mean tighter observation of the park rules or the pitch licence in play, but generally speaking, there's a lot of money to be made when someone leaves the park.
But I've discovered there is a much bigger problem for Ted, George and Jeanette and the many others who seem to reside here. None are actually allowed to live here. Marley is a holiday park, not a residential site. Its licence only allows owners to use their caravans for holiday or recreational purposes. It stipulates the caravans shall not be used or occupied as a person's sole or main place of residence at any time.
I sold my house, you see. Do you want me to show you a couple of examples of the best ones that we've got?
Going undercover, we posed as a customer looking to live on Marley Holiday Park.
This one's 2-bed. Have a little nose, have a little look.
The company say staff are instructed not to sell to anyone. If there is a concern, the would-be purchaser intends to define their holiday home as their primary residence. Failure to comply would be treated as gross misconduct. This salesman appears to offer the caravan as a place to live, not holiday.
It's 11 and a half months, no restrictions on usage. Right. But you can't have posts sent directly here. I would estimate it's like 99% privately owned, the caravans here. And of those, I would say probably 90% of the people spend the full season here.
The company say buyers must provide proof of a permanent address. After telling the salesman we'd sold our house and were renting, he advised us to use a friend or family member's address. Then offers this solution so we can receive post.
£200 a year, set up a PO box at either Dymchurch or Romney Post Office.
As for leaving the site for 2 weeks, he told us other owners take a holiday from their holiday home.
What does people do then? They have to get off for 2 weeks? For 2 weeks. Generally, it's the last 2 weeks of February. Yeah. So that time of the year, what a lot of people tend to do is maybe see family or go on holiday. At that time of the year, to go abroad is absolute peanuts. Yeah. Tenerife, Malta, Lanzarote, wherever. They take their annual holiday.
Park Holidays say their purchase documentation clearly and unambiguously states the holiday home cannot be used for residential purposes.
I never read all that bump. I just took what they said as gospel.
Did you not read the contract? That is why I questioned it. I said, so it's perfectly legal that I can live here as long as I'm off site for 2 weeks? And they said, yes.
The company say management make sure prospective buyers understand the rules before they purchase. A disgruntled former Park Holidays caravan owner, Carol Keeble, runs a Facebook action group offering advice and support to angry and upset owners. She has more than 5,000 members from many different parks.
People have paid out thousands and thousands of pounds to live somewhere they can't live, which they didn't know in the first place. Nobody is listening to these people.
Owners are coming together to seek help. Many are too scared to speak out publicly as they fear they'll be evicted for living in their caravans.
And you all want to be heard, and I want to hear you all.
Lawyer Jane Sanders is assisting Park Holiday owners who she says feel they've been misled in the hope she can gain them some form of financial redress.
I have 50 confirmed cases of people living on site in their caravan as their main residence, and I believe this is a huge problem. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are actually living on these sites as their main residence.
Park Holidays say all parks have a closed period during the year when holiday homes cannot be occupied. If they suspect the permitted use of the holiday home is being abused, they say they'll investigate thoroughly. If misuse is found to be taking place, they will, as a last resort, terminate the pitch licence agreement.
Escape from it all and get away to your very own part of Kent.
Ted, George and Jeanette all fear they'll be evicted.
It's not a dream, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare.
Marley Holiday Park is a peaceful and relaxing place to stay.
You can't do this, you can't do that. Read your rules. You know, how can you have peace and harmony when you're living under that shroud? You can't.
As your day draws to a close, it's time to recharge your batteries because you'll want to do it all again tomorrow.
I'm always up about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't normally suffer with stress, but this is something I've never experienced before.
Park Holidays says it values and respects its customers and that it intends to contact Ted, George and Jeanette to discuss their concerns. The 3 owners hope by speaking out they'll warn others of the pitfalls of park life.
Colin Campbell reporting. Coming up on Inside